So here we are, back at my place. I've kind of decided to change the format of the videos. So I'll kind of make it into a weekly thing, maybe every 8 days or something like 10 days, I don't know. But this is running again. All I have to do is the alignment's a bit off. So I removed the subframe. I changed the lower, the tie rod ends and the inner tie rods. And it was quite tough. It wasn't something I could videograph because I did take some help and it was tough to do the whole thing. It took a few days. So I don't have a video of that, but that was done. Next time I'll show you guys. Maybe when I'm putting the palio subframe into that, because that is a challenge. I'm gonna have to put a palio subframe into the Uno so that the drive shafts can be reused from the palio, because the width would come out a bit. The Lada is the engine's gone to a friend for a rebuild, so it is going to take some time, but it also has quite a bit of body work, so I don't know if I'm going to have to outsource this. But currently I'm working on an experiment to see if these are things I can handle on my own. Maybe I could just sand this down. This is quite a simple body to do. That isn't, but yeah. So these are Porsche 944 wheels or 928, I'm not sure. But they have got a different PCD. This is 98, this is something like 104 or 108 or something. So I'm going to make some spacers for this, not myself. I've sourced the material. I'm going to be making spacers for this to fit the Porsche wheels on this car. Again, not my own car, luckily. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this. We'll probably be keeping the Lada engine. That is the plan currently. And maybe a custom wide body kit. So heading back in, 1 second, back at the palio. Heading back in, I'm currently working on this. This is my wagon. So this wasn't fitting that well. I'll show you guys that in a bit in this clip. But there was a bit of a fitment problem. So that's going to be resolved. Basically, I've taken some M seal and shoved it in this gap. And I started off by measuring this up, giving it a little bit of a cut so it gives a snugger fit, and filling in the gap with M seal. This will be remolded at some point to make copies of. It needs more refining, that's definitely one thing, but I'm happy with the product as of now. Next up is my E30. I need to put the engine back in after service, but now the thing is, this area is really important for any work going on. So I'm gonna have to remove this car from there. So once this is done, maybe I'll do the bodywork. But while this is setting and getting done, I'm gonna be working on this 190 rear end. So this is something I had for a while. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I think I'm gonna make it into a storage area, maybe a sofa. Problem is, it's not like a 123 or 124. 124 exactly, because the cut isn't low over here. On the 124 you could sit in this area, but over here you can't. Maybe I'll do a 124 sofa as well. But this is a great way to learn. I'm going to make sure that I can figure out how to use this MIG welder. This is a semi-expensive machine, so something I picked up. I've had it for a while and I thought, okay, I'll start off with trying out some body work. So I'm going to handle stuff like this area and all that. I've tried before, but now I'm going to really go at it. I'm going to try to finish this project and learn how to do body work. At the end of it, I will be more skilled than when I started, that's for sure. So I'll start off with simple parts like this. This is just a single a double bend over here, but there's no cavity inside. It's not a hollow area. This is a hollow area, so this will have to be cut. I'll have to figure out how to do it. So I'll increase the difficulty with each time. This is going to be the easiest, then this where I'll have to give it slits and give it this bend. And last will be something like this where it's quite difficult. Even this area, this looks ghastly and difficult. But yeah, definitely worth trying, learning how to do this. Then I can definitely work on the other cars like the wagon. So we're going to do a few clips on this, and over the week take a few more clips, put them together, and I'll show you guys what I've been up to. So here we are back in the workshop. Here's the lip that I 3D printed. So I'm gonna have to work on this, and there are a few things that need to be adjusted. I 3D printed it, but it doesn't have all the information about the car. Maybe I'll need to improve my methods later, maybe use a 3D scanner or something and delete those parts. But it's not, it's not perfect over here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to shave it till it reaches closer to the contour, and then it'll sit snugly. Then I have a good sample to make a mold. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll have to fix that area and make some mounts over here. So there used to be like a vent over here, and I'm gonna have to make a mount which goes this way, goes up, and it should be something that's repeatable. So that's it. So I'll get to that now. Today I'll be working on that, shaving this ear of the bumper, and making these mounts. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use this marker to gauge where I need to chop. I'll start off with a bit like this. It looks like that's how much will have to come off. Okay. Yeah, that was Mishka in action. So I'll have to sand off a bit over here and it'll sit much nicer. I've now unscrewed this. Now I'm going to take a grinder and slowly shave this area. Now that I've trimmed this edge and made it closer, I'm going to have to seal some of these gaps. I've put some tape on the body so this M seal doesn't ruin that. And later on I'm just going to paint over this. This is kind of a quick fix, but I will make a better mold in the future. So all these things will get fixed. Now that the M seal is setting, I guess it's already a little hard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on something else. I'm going to work on learning how to do a bit of tin work. So I'm going to practice on this thing. It's the rear end of a 190E. So I'm going to have to chop off a few pieces and replace them and see how it works out. So this is a learning experience. It's going to take a bit. I'm going to patch it up and figure out how to do this. Then I'll know if I'm capable of doing bodywork repairs. I guess with this I'll have some experience. And yeah, it's worth a try. Definitely worth a try. If I mess it up, there's no harm. I can just junk this. But if I'm decent at it, I could do my own repairs on my own cars, little things here and there. So that's a good skill to learn. So I'm going to try that out now. So here's the first batch. I cut this piece out, made a paper template, traced that template on a piece of metal, and then used my bending brake to bend it at the right positions. But it looks like the metal was a bit too thin on the car, so it's been burning holes through. So I'm just gonna leave this, but next time I'm just gonna have to cut more and be more careful. So here's what we call a bending brake. This is something I've made. It's got these heavy duty hinges over here that and a pipe that lets you bend it here. This is a heavy angle, and you put your piece of metal in between and you're able to bend it. So over here I need this to bend this way and the other side to bend the other way, so I'm gonna have to mark it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push this piece in and bend it. Bring it to the marked point. I've got two markings, one on this side, one on the other side. Go. That's got that 90-degree bend. Now this side becomes a challenge. I might have to do it with a plier or something like that. So here's the first piece from yesterday. It was quite simple, just a double bend, and I'm quite happy with it. But over here I've just patched up the hole. Not exactly thrilled because some places are quite shabby, but anyways, the tail light's above this, so it's okay. But I'm gonna have to learn how to do stuff like this. Maybe this will have to be one flat piece. I'll have to break it down in a different way. So this is a curve and this is another piece, but in this case you guys saw what I did. Maybe that's not going to work out. Maybe this should have been one piece, this one section, this one section. I'll try next time. Now I'll try to handle this, finish this off for today, maybe this too, and then proceed. So here we are after repairing the panel. This area is fixed up, this one too. Looks like I'll have to put a lot of body filler, but that's not how it should be. But this is still a practice run. I noticed that I'm blowing holes through the metal. That's probably because I'm using 100% carbon dioxide with the MIG welder, but I should be using a blend of argon and carbon dioxide. I'll try to get that. Hopefully I'll be able to, and then I'll be able to do a much better job with these things. So it boils down to also grinding this down. So I think next time when I get the argon, I'm gonna continue this project. So yeah, maybe I'll try a bit more tomorrow, one more little batch, and then shift to the 123. I just finished off these custom figurines. There's some D&D characters for a customer. So I'll be packing these up and sending them. They're ready to go. Boo-boo! So here we are. This is what the repair looks like. I first put a patch over here, bent it a bit, bent it over here too, and then added another piece. But I need something to grind in this tight cavity. I think you get a drill bit which is rough, so I'm gonna try that out, and this will get smoothened out. But yeah, this is pretty much a very amateur attempt at bodywork repair. But I'm gonna have to get something. I'm gonna have to get a carbon dioxide and argon mix, as I mentioned before. That way I won't be burning holes through the metal in thin areas. Some of this metal is a bit too thin, so it just burns a hole through. So I think that'll be the best option. What will happen is, because of the carbon dioxide and argon mix, I'll have less penetration and it'll burn less, but it won't be as good as for doing stuff like this on normal iron, making furniture and stuff like that. But yeah, cleaner wells. So yeah, I'll try to source that and then continue with this. But right now I'm going to work on the wagon. So here's another project that we're working on. So yeah, there's a bit of work on it, a lot more than a bit, and a few bits missing. So if you know of an engine for an R26, do let me know. And whatever else you can find, because it looks like it's mostly complete, but it's missing the, where is the, oh, there it is. So this is the crankcase, and above this we have the crank, we have the connecting rod, but this might have to be replaced. We're not sure yet. Once we sandblast it and clean it up, we'll come to know. But if somebody knows of an engine, that would be great, because it's missing the cylinder, it's missing the piston, and a few of the engine bits. So we've got the head, but it's missing some stuff inside. So yeah, if you know of something, do let me know. So here is the project bike. I just placed the parts now after washing it. Me and my friend who helped me out with the Lambretta. Yeah, he's helping me out with this too, because unlike something like a Yamaha where everything's quite straightforward, these are more complex. Assembling them would be a pain, and especially since this is a dismantled bike. I don't know where things go and how to put stuff together. I'm sure there are little rubbers here and there, so it is a challenge. It will be tough, but I've got help, and a lot of guys from the community also offered stuff, so luckily I'm getting little parts here and there for this. I'm also looking out for the piston block, what do you call it, the cylinder block, which would fit over here, and the piston and some other things here and there. The head is in decent shape after washing it. Now I'll just have to coat it with a bit of oil and see how things are, try to free them up as we go. Right now we're working on this. Probably a lot of it's going to go into next week's video. This is all solidified now, so it's nice and hard now. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sand it down so it's smooth, but I have the contour correctly. I also have the contour on the other side. You may notice that there's a lot of rust on this car now, but till I get my MIG welding gas correct, I won't be attempting this, because it's just I'm just going to burn holes through this. But I will do this myself. I will repair these fenders at least. It's stuff that's difficult when you have, let's say, an edge like this, a body line. I can't do that. I don't think I can, not yet. But I'd like to do stuff like this. So right now we've got a loose alternator belt. I haven't used this car in a while. It's quite loose. Apart from that, there are a few bits and bobs that have gotten quite rusty. When I took them off, I noticed that they're not all together. So here's one of them. It's actually the mount for the bumper rubber, actually, the side rubbers. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to fix this up, and I will do it with the new MIG. So that's great. And I'm also going to make a mold of this. That'll probably go into next week's video. Make a mold of the lip after cleaning it up a bit, and fixing some things that I'm not too happy with. So I guess it's better if I move this from where it is, find a better place to work on it. Let's see, let's start it up. It seems like the belt is slipping. I haven't driven this in a while, and yeah, the belt is slipping. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to tighten that up, clean the pulley, and also refit the bumper and remove the lip. So I'll be doing that. So I'll be working on my 123 wagon now. I'm going to take off the lip. The M seal is now nice and hard. I'm going to sand this down, clean up a few of the defects, and make a copy of this lip. And after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this as well. I'm also going to tighten up the belts. I've put in the wrong battery because the other one is is a bit busy right now. It's getting charged, so the bonnet doesn't close properly. That is one problem. And I'm going to refit the front. So what I'll do is I'll seal up that. I don't think I can seal up that hole right now, but what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to put the bumper back. I'll be able to make a copy of this lip, and I'll also be able to tighten the belts. So the first thing we'd want to do is we'd want to check out which belt is giving a problem. Oh yeah, it's definitely this one, and this is the alternator. Yeah, this is the alternator. So I'm gonna have to check underneath on how to do that, and it's pretty simple. It's straightforward. Usually when a car is in original condition, it has these little tensioners, so you just you tighten the bolts and this whole thing tightens itself, so that's great. But I don't think mine is still there. Most of them don't have it anymore, so I'll have to do that. And I'll try to spruce up something else in the engine bay. At some point I'll have to take off the fenders and do a bit of body work. After removing the headlight, I noticed that one of these brackets is broken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it a bit and tack weld it and address it later on. So I managed to tack weld this in place and weld it correctly as well. Now it's all strong. So that's all proper now. This isn't loose. But after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on these clamps. The other one seems quite smashed up, but this one I'm going to just mount in place and tack weld and rebuild. I'm going to make it again. So that's the plan with this. And yeah, let's see how that goes. I'll do that tomorrow. And then let's see what we're up to next week. So here's today's project. I've got these bumper corner rubber mounts, and they've gotten quite bad. They've actually broken the part that fits under the headlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it off over here, and I'm going to make a fresh piece from here to here. So let's see how I do that. So I managed to bend these pieces, but I realized that these have quite a lot of detail, even these pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the rot and sand it down and remove the pieces that need removal. So I'm going to chop this end off, and then I'm going to put in this bent piece that I used my bead roller and bending brake to make. So then I'll just continue this line. So I managed to fix the corner bumper rubber mount. It needs a few more things, like it's aligned properly, but I'm gonna have to trim pieces of metal like over here, reinforce certain areas that were too rusty, like this, and grind it down, clean it up, make it look nice again. Nobody's ever gonna see it, but it's worth the practice, right? So I thought, okay, what the heck, why don't I try it out? And it looks like somebody already did do some repairs earlier, so there's no problem doing it again. You can see that here. So yeah, I'm gonna repair this. That's for the driver's side. I'm going to do the passenger side. In the next episode, I'm going to tighten the alternator belt for this. I am going to either work on the E30 or the Uno, and I'm going to make a fiberglass mold for this. This is the lip for the 123, and show you guys how I make a mold. So that's up next. Thanks for watching, and like, share and subscribe. I'm trying to put some more effort in these videos, so the liking, the sharing and the subscriptions would really help. So see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.